Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Legal Corner podcast series. It's always a joy and a pleasure to link up with you and to be part of your Saturday morning routine. In this episode, we'll be looking at Caribbean legal solutions, and our distinguished guest is Miss Renee Kendall. Just to tell you a bit about her, Renee Kendall is an attorney at law in New York and the founder of Caribbean Legal Solutions, a leading professional legal services company that connects persons located anywhere in the world with attorneys in Caribbean countries. Founded in 2019, Renee started Caribbean Legal Solutions to help the Caribbean diaspora population located in the U.S. with settling their legal matters in their home countries by connecting them to vetted attorneys. The company has since expanded its scope to becoming a resource to small business law firms and government entities. Today, CLS draws clients and attorneys from around the world, including the UK and Canada. Caribbean Legal Solution bridges the gap between persons in need of legal assistance and attorneys prepared to serve them, guiding each matter from shore to shore. Renee earned her law degree from Touro Law Center, where she demonstrated exceptional skill and dedication to her studies. Ms. Kendall has volunteered with organizations like WIADCE, the Brooklyn Volunteer Lawyers Project, as well as churches and local community organizations. Good day to you, Ms. Kendall, and welcome to the Legal Corner podcast series.
Good day, Mr. Zanuz. Thank you so much for having me.
Lovely. Well, we're going to get right into it. I want you to tell us, give us an overview of what does Caribbean Legal Solutions entail?
Sure. I think it might be helpful for me to talk a little bit about what inspired me. I identified that there was this diaspora population that still retained ties to Caribbean countries, and those ties would often necessitate an attorney, right? A needed attorney for services. So I wanted to create a platform that would connect persons located basically anywhere in the world with attorneys in what would be their home countries. So I created this platform. I created the network by reaching out to attorneys that I knew, some that I did not know, asking them whether they would be interested in being part of our network. And I guess the rest is history.
Okay, so is it that you are a hub that persons come to and you would refer them to other attorneys?
Yes, persons will find us or hear about us, and they would have a legal matter about which they would contact us, and we will connect them with an attorney in the relevant jurisdiction based on the nature of their legal matter.
So how do you go about selecting the attorneys that you work with?
Well, I started with attorneys that I knew. I lived and worked in the Caribbean for some time. I knew a few attorneys from living and working there, folks from the law schools in the Caribbean. So I started with those that I knew. They would then refer me, the attorneys that I knew would then refer me to other attorneys based on our need. Sometimes it is a matter of doing a search to find someone, but generally it's a matter of reaching out to people, attorneys, letting them know that there is a need, and there would be too much more to it than that.
And do you cover all practice areas, or are there just a few practice areas that you would take on clients for?
The practice areas that we deal with are driven by client inquiries. So we're not restricted to one area or the other. It's really based on what the client's needs are.
So give me a walkthrough of your intake process. So someone comes off the street and they said, I have a piece of property in Jamaica that I would like to sell. What would be the next thing that you would do?
Our intake process works this way. So persons contact us, they have their legal matter. In some cases, they'll identify the legal matter by putting it into the category. For example, you've just described a situation that would fall into land law, right, or real property. Sometimes they don't identify it that way. We identify the practice area, the jurisdiction, And then we will connect them, or we send an inquiry to someone within our network, giving a brief synopsis of the legal matter, asking them whether they'd be interested or and could take on the matter. And once we receive an affirmative answer, we will, in some cases, just exchange contact information between the two parties.
Does it involve the client having to physically visit the Caribbean island or anything like that?
No, no. In many cases, that's part of our how we add value. We take care. So our attorneys, the attorneys that are within our network, are based in Caribbean countries. The clients seeking to retain those services are not, right? So the parties are in two separate countries. Our role is to facilitate the delivery of the legal services. So to assist the attorney based in, for example, Jamaica, with rendering his or her services to a client based in, say, Florida. Our role is to take care of the logistics in between. So in most cases, our clients can't or don't want to travel to the country just to handle a legal matter. So to the extent that they're not required to do so, they don't need to.
How do attorneys become part of your network?
By reaching out to us. They'll reach out to us. We have an interview process and a screening process, and generally that's all that's involved.
At this point, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Ms. Kendall, before the break, you were just telling us how can attorneys become involved and be a part of your network. I want us to switch gears now, and I want you to tell us what challenges have you faced in running your company?
We are a company where, as I stated earlier, our clients are in one place and our attorneys are in the other. There are several instances where we will be engaged in a matter where we have not met, we might not have met either the client or the attorney. So there is a phase of which we need to build trust with both client and attorney. And that can present its challenges because it's being done remotely. I find that being involved the way that I am, I'm an attorney myself, right? That tends to lend a bit of a credibility to what we do. And because we are providing such a unique service, I find that has also been helpful in building trust with the parties. So there's that element of it, and then there is the logistics, right? Again, we work remotely. Our clients and the parties are in two separate locations, so in many cases we are called in to fill in the gaps, right? Sometimes documents need to be moved from one location to the other. Things would need to be notarized, or something needs to go to a consulate or an embassy. We are there, to fill those gaps. And it does present its own unique set of challenges because we're not always aware of how a matter can change and what needs could arise. But all in all, it's been a rewarding experience and we have learned quite a bit.
I would imagine you'd have to rely on courier services quite a bit because many Caribbean countries do not recognize digital signatures. So persons have to physically print the document, sign it, and then mail it wherever it needs to be sent. Not so?
That is correct. That is correct. And we deal with many people who do not have printers, right, or scanners. And then we also, in virtually all cases, need an original signature for anything that is going to be presented to, let's say, a high court.
Right. Well, I think it's commendable that you offer that service to Caribbean persons and to persons in the diaspora, given the challenges, given the limitations, given the fact that many persons are not digital savvy and so forth. So I think you really are doing something that is pioneering and tremendously necessary in a region like this where we have a large population that is outside of the Caribbean. So there are so
That is
many
correct.
Caribbean people living in the United States and in New York and these places while still having assets and family members in their home country.
That
So
is correct.
it
That
is
is correct.
very, very necessary. Well, Ms. Kendall, this has been a great conversation. How can persons get in contact with you?
We are available on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. We also can be contacted by our website at www.caribbeanlegalsolutions.com or via WhatsApp if you are based in the Caribbean. We are at 718-887-6141. And we also have a toll-free number for anyone based here in the United States at 1-877-418-2723, Caribbean Legal Solutions.